Good morning, my wild and beautiful friends. Spooky season recipes coming at you. First up, caramel apples. A little more healthy and extra delicious. Okay, friends, here's what we need to make this super simple date caramel. I've got about 12 ounces of medjool dates. I'm going to soak them in some warm water for, I'd say, at least 20 minutes, but give it an hour if you've got the time. When they soak, they're going to plump up and get even more juicy and caramely, like so. Before our next step, I'm just going to drain out this water and make sure that I pit each date like you can see here, so we don't have any unexpected chunks in our caramel. Then I'm just going to grab my food processor, or a high-speed blender works just as well. Add in our soaked drained dates, a tablespoon of melted coconut oil, and 2 tablespoons of almond butter, but you can definitely use peanut butter or any other nut butter you've got on hand. Then I'm just going to add a little sprinkling of sea salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm gonna just pulse these dryish ingredients real quick to get everything kind of started in the blending process. That'll give us a nice chunky paste to get started with. Then I'm adding in some of that date water, probably about, I'd say, 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup total, starting small so we don't make it too runny. We're just gonna keep blending it. I'm also gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we're going to keep blending it again. It takes a good 5 minutes of blending to get it this smooth, but look how luscious. You guys, this is so good. If you'd like, you can just stop here, grab a spoon, and call it a day. This is a judgment-free zone. I am not above just eating it out of the food processor. But today we're making caramel apples, so we got ourselves some apples. I'm using Granny Smith because of their tartness. I think they go really nicely with the really sweet date caramel. I've also got a little cake stand that I've got saran wrap on because we're going to dip them a couple times, so it will keep our tray on the clean side while we double dip everything. And then, you guys, I found these amazing little reusable fake twigs to use for the sticks for our caramel apples. They were at Zurcher's, which I think is kind of like a Park City, depending on where you're from. I'm trying to show you. I'm not even in the camera. Geez Louise, Andrea. There you go. You can see it a little bit better. You'll see it in another shot better too. I think they're really fun. So I'm just sticking them all the way through that apple to the very bottom so it gets nice and secured. And I'm just going to do the same thing to all the rest of the apples, and we'll be ready to dunk. Okay, all we're going to do is take our apple and spin it in our caramel, going as high up onto the apple as you'd like with that caramel. I like to leave a little bit on top, just so you can see that pretty green contrast to the caramel color, but you do you. Full disclosure on our vegan caramel, this doesn't set the same way as a traditional caramel would. It still stays a little bit soft. So while it is incredibly delicious and definitely a little bit better for you, it won't entirely set up in the fridge. It's just gonna get stuck to that apple a little bit more and not as goopy. So our first round of dunking, we're gonna let those sit in the fridge for 10-15 minutes just to let them set up a little bit. And this is our second round of dunking, and we will be ready to enjoy these beautiful little caramel apples. Now this is your base, so I really like a classic caramel apple, so I kind of just stick to this. But if you're feeling feisty and festive, you could totally throw some crushed nuts on here, or some sprinkles, or some melted chocolate. The sky and your imagination are your limit on these little beauties. And there you have it, super simple, a little bit more healthy vegan caramel apples. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're all staying safe and healthy, and stay tuned for more spooky recipes this month. Love you, bye.